All right, we should be live 1 minute early today. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? First in the chat is Jason Unk making the stank face in the thumbnail, aka the Thiz face. What up, Stang? How you doing? Craig Lilly in the house. Roland Wales. Do we need a 16GB RX 580? No, we do not. I think 8GB was more than enough. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have the rest of the horsepower to utilize it all. I'm not against someone like soldering on additional VRAM, like for a fun project. I'd actually be curious to see if there's any use cases where it makes any meaningful difference. But like an official release one, nah, don't waste resources on that from like the official, AMD, in my opinion. What does Craig Lilly want to make a return now that we're in our re-release era of things coming out 5 years after the fact again, because the situation is so dire and so bad that they have to recycle old inventory. And I think never mind, we'll talk about it later. But at first I was like, why re-release the 3060 when you could re-release like something more recent like the 4060? But I think the 4060 is still in stock. Not only that though, the other reason is because there's a memory shortage right now. So the GDDR7 is what is probably in higher demand than GDDR6 from the 3060. So I guess that makes sense that they're trying to re-release things that aren't going to eat into the newer standard stuff. But it looks like 4060s are also pretty hard to find on Amazon right now. All of them I'm seeing right now are Amazon renewed. Oh, whoops. Wrong window. But yeah, if you do a search for RTX 4060, it just shows you 5060s. So I wasn't sure if 4060s are basically have been cycled out and discontinued, and it kind of looks like that's the case, which makes sense because why keep making them when you have 5060s existing? So yeah, you can still buy 4060s, but I think this one is Amazon see it's refurbished. Here's another one, Gigabyte, also refurbished. So yeah, you can't buy them new. I'm sure there's somewhere you can buy them new, but on Amazon right now, it's looking like all these are refurbished. Kale got a 3060 at $300 when the 4060 was only $310, almost 2 years ago. Why did you pick the 3060? Is it because did you get the 12 gig version over the 8 gig 4060? Or even EVGA making GPUs again? If EVGA, what is EVGA even doing? What is EVGA up to these days? Let's go to their Twitter account. Let's see what they've been posting. Dude, EVGA social media, at least on Twitter, is dead. Look at this. They have... Damn, they have so many followers. Over 500,000. But, yeah, 2020, 2019, 2022, 2020, 2021. They have not been using their Twitter account much at all. Let's see if they replied to anything. Oh, come on! Don't make me log into this crap. Is there a website that scrapes this so that I could essentially look at posts without logging in? God, Twitter. I still call it Twitter because X is the dumbest name ever, and Elon Musk can go do something about himself that I'm not gonna say on stream, but yeah. You fell victim to the whole VRAM argument? Oof. Yeah. Dude, it doesn't make sense to get weaker cards with more VRAM. VRAM is not the only indicator of performance. Obviously, for similar side-by-side cards, yes, more VRAM would be better, but it doesn't make sense to, like, I don't think it makes sense to get a 12GB 3060 versus now let's compare it to like a modern day 8GB 5060. What up, Dispatcher Gaming? What up, Pedro? Hello, Adam and Luke. What is up with this? The chat is being weird. Oh, I gotta click on here. You got Dispatcher, you got your Steam machine? What? Post some pics. Post some pics in the Discord server. I want to see where you put it. Do you have it set up wherever it's gonna be, or are you still playing with it? What up, Squirrel God Beastosaur? What? I don't even know what that name means. Is this Monsieur Nob? I don't even know if I said that right. Yes, this is Nob. What up, Poor Player? What up, Iron? What up, Grimlong? You haven't missed anything. We're still just chilling right now. Iron Sneaks gave my first PC build to my nephew. 5800X 3070 Ti. Man, that's some solid specs. I want to upgrade him to the 5800X 3D, and I'm trying to find a decently priced 3090, but they want 1K for everywhere law. Just want that old school maxed out build for him. Dude, how old is your nephew? 5800. I'm assuming at least high school aged or younger. I don't know. Maybe you have an adult nephew that you're trying to give a computer to. But, I don't. If you have a 5800X, I think a 5800X 3D is a waste of money. Even if you can find it for a slightly better price. Like, I think Micro Center has them for $300 right now. We'll check that in a second. But, even then, I think it's a waste of money. The 5800X, the performance that it gives, and the price that it usually comes in at, but you already have it, so it's not like you're buying a 5800X. I would sit tight with the 5800X, and use it as is. I think you can squeeze out more performance by upgrading that 3070 Ti, so I'm not against upgrading that. But the 5800X 3D re-release thing, I think at this point, based on what I've been seeing, discussions online, how people are going crazy over 5800X 3Ds, I think that, like, X3D AM4 is overrated. Like, yes, it's good, but it is not that good to be paying that much of a premium for. And it's really hard to find them for decent prices because people know how valuable they are, that even in the secondhand market, people are charging similar prices to brand new. So that's my take on it. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. You're already an awesome person for giving a build like that to your nephew, but I would be like, they already got a great computer. I know you want to spoil them, but I would never be able to justify that. Have I seen the video of that chick? Yeah, I saw that story about the girl from Superman building a PC, very similar to Henry Cavill moment. Which is kind of cool to see celebrities get into PC building for the first time. I think it didn't get as much attention as the Henry Cavill when Henry Cavill did it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool that, you know, the more mainstream people that get into it, the more normalized it is. PC gaming is already super normalized, so I don't know if we can get any further with that on that front, but it's always cool to see people that you would probably never think to be into something like PCs, let alone building it from scratch themselves, as opposed to just buying a pre-built, because, you know, they're rich and have the money to be able to do so. But yeah, I did see that story. It was pretty cool. Oh man, yeah, sorry, my chat, is this... How do you get the message on the screen? If I don't, when I'm reading through, I'll click it. But my chat that I'm using to bring things up, it's being so weird right now. Yeah, my ability to scroll through chat keeps on coming and going. So sorry if it's taking me a while to get through. I seen that SK Hynix and Samsung are being sued, and Micron for DDR3 and 4. But wait, what do you mean? I did not see. Is this the story that we talked about the other week about the, what is it, 17 individuals suing the companies? I didn't see anything specific with regards to DDR3, DDR4, but not DDR5. Is there more updates to that story? Let me see. Sue DDR3, DDR4. I'll see if I can bring up anything regarding that. But I have not seen that yet. What's up, Jensen? There's a crazy deal on 1440p 500 hertz OLED monitor I sent in the Steam submission, says Tavian. Okay, let's take a look. Stream submissions. So today's gonna be a chill stream. I think it might also be an exactly 2-hour stream because I need to finish some benchmarking. There is an embargo. Something is not releasing, but an embargo is being lifted tomorrow. So, oh, sorry. Yeah, so there's an embargo on a product that's going to be released tomorrow, and I am currently wrapping up testing for it. So I need to run some stuff in the background here while the stream is going. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, what is this monitor? This is a crazy deal. 500 hertz G-Sync. He said it was 1440p. Is this a crazy deal? Oh, sorry. I'm not showing the right screen. Monitor people, I need you to chime in on this. I mean, I feel like 27-inch 1440p OLEDs are already around this price, but is it just the 500 and 200 something hertz might be around this price already? But is it the fact that you're getting 500 hertz out of it? I don't know. Even on sale, is there a large customer base for a monitor this extreme? This seems like such a niche product. It's hard. I guess if this thing is that sought after and never this low of a price, yeah, that'd be a crazy deal. But let me take a look real quick. What's the standard? We can't just trust Samsung and what they said. So OLED 500 hertz 27-inch Samsung. See if I can find the exact same one. Is it, yeah, OLED? Wait, was it the G5? G6. It was the G6. Okay, so G6. So it is 500 here. Let me move this down so I can see. So it's 600 here. This one 1440p. No, this one's 240 hertz. So yeah, no, we gotta find the 500 hertz one. 500 hertz G6, 600. Okay, so same price from Amazon as Samsung. So 27-inch, 500. This one was QD. Was this one QD OLED? G60 SF. G-Sync compatible. G60. Dude, the thing I hate about monitors is the names. This is a frequently returned item, but let's look at the price history. Is this the same monitor? Where is the exact model name? Does this one have the exact model name? Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. Because this one just says OLED and the other one says quantum dot OLED, so I'm just like, is like, I just want to make sure they are the exact same. So G60 2SNXZA, yeah, I think that's the same one. Yep. Okay, L27, yeah. Okay, so I don't know if this is a crazy good deal considering that it has, at least within the last month, been even cheaper at 55, but at all time, so it looks like the price for the most part has been above like 700 for a long time, going down to as low as though 550 on multiple occasions, brand new. Was this on Amazon? Yes, and that was here on Amazon, and right now it's going for 6. So it looks like, actually, how long was this? Just looking at the price trends, not knowing too much about the competitors in the market for the same specs, this isn't the best price we've seen, which the best price has been seen multiple times lower than this. I don't know if I would call this a crazy deal as you put it, Tavian, but thanks for the heads up for anyone who is interested in this and didn't want to pay the typical higher price that it has been going for most of the time. Self-driving is the bee's knees. Self-driving is pretty cool. Now that they removed the ability to buy it outright. I mean, I don't think I was ever going to buy it outright anyways for our Tesla. But when I have had the fully self-driving, but still you have to like sit there and watch it. You can't fall asleep. It is pretty cool technology. It's not perfect, but I would use it if it was free. I'm not paying $100+ a month for it though. VRAM is king. I don't know if I would say VRAM is king. I would say like shader cores and stuff is king. VRAM is up there. But I wouldn't say it's the number one deciding factor when I'm buying a graphics card, that's for sure. Let's make it 50-50 with 20 gigabytes of VRAM. What should you be looking for in terms of performance in both the GPU and CPU now? What should you be looking for in terms of performance? I don't know what people's standards are. I don't know. I would say this question is so vague. But if you were to put together, let's say, the average recommended PC at it's not even a reasonable price anymore because of RAM and storage. But like, what is the middle of the road computer in the modern day? It's like a modern, like current gen i5/Ryzen 5, and then like a 60, like a 5060 Ti, or a 9060 XT, or 9070 GRE type-ish range. But yeah, I don't know what your question was really asking. Like what specs? Oh, so that's what you mean. Yeah, what specs? Current gen Ryzen or i5, and then a $400 to $500 graphics card. Just because graphics cards have gotten so expensive. It used to be, I would say, like around a $400 graphics card would be a great mid-range computer. But now, cards are well beyond that. Oh, 12-year-old with the 5800X 3070 Ti? Make that 12-year-old work and get good grades and do chores and, I don't know, volunteer, do community service to earn that 5800X 30 and a 3090 if that's what you're going to do. Yeah, jeez. 12-year-old given a 5800X 3070 Ti. If I could have gotten the equivalent of that when I was 12, oh man, I would have been happy. I would have been happy with much less than that. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think you need to. I think it's a waste of money to get a 12-year-old who has a 5800X to give them a 5800X 3D. Maybe down the road to, you know, when the prices come down and they settle because the 5800 X3D, the craze right now is just the price is kind of stupid. Maybe when it comes down in price and the PC starts feeling a little bit more dated, but for a 12-year-old, a 5800X should not feel dated at the moment. Hey Danny, my brother is currently saving for either a Steam Deck or an Ain Thor. Is that Ioneo or is that something different? Nope, that is something different. An Ain Thor, what is this? A Steam Deck or what other options should you consider? I actually don't follow handhelds all too much. They're pretty cool, but what is this thing? What does this run? Clamshell OLED. I wasn't even aware of what this was. So what do you like? I mean, just based on the price, is this even in the same like conversation and class of product as a Steam Deck? A Steam Deck. I mean, I think people have installed Windows and stuff on it, right? But you could use a Steam Deck as a computer. Can you do that with this, or is this like, what is this? Is this like an Android-based thing? Does it have its own custom? Oh, Android. Okay, so it is Android. That's what I kind of would imagine being the case. So yeah, you're talking like something that's more akin to a tablet / phone versus something that's a little bit closer to a PC. And like this, you're essentially just running mobile apps, right? Whereas the Steam Deck, you're literally running Steam and playing games, you know, albeit with FSR and like low FPS and resolution and stuff like that. But that one, you're getting the PC handheld experience. This one, you're getting a mobile experience in the shape of like a Game Boy or something, right? Yeah, I'm not well versed in this area. Between the two, if someone said, hey, you can have one of these right now for free, I would probably pick the Steam Deck. Yeah, I would want something that is a little bit more capable, because the Steam Deck will also be able to run like apps and all that stuff too. Whereas this thing, I don't think this would be able to play Steam games. So yeah. Beastie Kato says, I gave away a PC as well, a bit older, i7 6700 Vega 56. Oh man. I've never ever used personally, like I've never had one in my hands, never benchmarked, never tested a Vega 56 or Vega 64 graphics card. That whole era of AMD, yeah, I just never used it. Still manages in most games at 30 to 80 FPS at 1080p. Yeah, Vega, the 6700 is definitely getting old because that was not Intel's best generation. How many cores and threads was that? Yeah, four cores. It was multi-threaded though, so 8 total threads, but 4 cores. That starts feeling its age now. Vega 56, I can imagine still pushing some decent numbers. I want AMD's 5090 killer. That's never coming. AMD is yeah, I don't think they're ever trying to compete that high end anymore. I just don't see it. I don't think it's overrated based on the last review that drops. If we're talking about the 5800 X3D, it outperforms most new. Yeah, it outperforms at $350. They're comparing it. It outperforms or performs really close to like $200 AM5 chips. And I know DDR5 is more expensive, so we're in a weird situation where buying 5-year-old CPU on a platform that is near 10 years old. Remember, AM4 came out like 2016, was it? Or 2017? So we're talking about like 9 to 10 year old platform. We're still trying to keep that thing alive, and paying $350 for a re-released 5-year-old chip on that platform makes no sense. when I say it's overrated, I don't think it's a bad product. There is rarely bad products, usually bad prices, and I just think people are going a little bit overboard on trying to get the 5800 X3D. It's like, you don't need a 5800 X3D chip. Before those even came out, we were doing just fine with non-X3D chips. Like I said, like a 5800X, the last one I bought was like $140 used, which used versus new, I know it's not the same thing, but they've been, that AM4 has been around for so long, and 5000 series Ryzen chips have been around for so long. The used market is flooded with them. It is not difficult to find a used 5600, 5600X, 5700X, 5800X. And it's going to come in well under half the price of a 5800 X3D, but come in at way more than half the performance of a 5800 X3D. So people who want to push the absolute best performance on that platform, you just have to pay a premium for. And I don't know, like, for me, sometimes you just got to use a temporary solution that's good enough until we get past these times, or just bite the bullet and go up to like AM5. RAM is expensive, and storage you can reuse. So between AM4 and AM5, storage is not like an indicator of like, oh, should I upgrade? Because you could just reuse the storage. So the conversation is always, should I spend more money going up to AM5 because DDR5 is so much more expensive? And I think that in my area and what I've seen online, when random deals drop, there have been deals for under $300, 32 gigs of of DDR5 memory within the last few months. So if you put in a little bit of work, you can get an AM5 like system with, you know, with a 7600X or a 9600X or something like that. That's not only a newer platform, but basically performs the same as a 5800 X3D and is not that much more or the same price. I guess not if you already have an AM4 motherboard, but $350, I mean, you would just sell off your old stuff, and that would make the price difference more reasonable. 5800 X3D supply means more used 5800s coming in a couple years too. Yeah, I would say, here's the thing. There are the people who just have money to throw at their PCs, and I would say buying a $350 5800 X3D is a bad decision. Don't take that personally if you are a person who is going to spend that much on it. That's just my personal opinion. You know, it's subjective. But we do need people to buy these things so that they could sell off their older hardware cheaper in the used market for the people who are really trying to push performance per dollar savings, right? I've said this time and time again. Whenever new products come out and they don't get received well by reviewers and things like that, and that people are always like, oh, just buy a used thing from the last generation that's a tier up and it's a better thing. I always say I appreciate the people who love buying day one brand new products, whether it be CPUs or GPUs and things like that, because that's the only way the used market can flourish. You don't get things entering the used market until people upgrade and sell off their old hardware. So when people make bad financial decisions, the people who are okay with buying used hardware, we all win at the end of the day. Steam Machine will normalize / make PC gaming less scary. I don't know, man. $1,000 Steam Machine. I don't know of anybody. I feel like most people that I know personally who picked up a Steam Machine are people who are already into PC gaming. I don't know of anyone who's like a strictly console player and was like, yo, let me pick up $1,000 Steam Machine. So this statement, I don't know if, at least I have not seen that to be true in my own personal circle of people. I'm not saying there's nobody out there who is a purely console gamer or not even a gamer at all and decided to pick up a Steam Machine to get into PC gaming, but I that's not what I've been seeing personally. What's up, Danny? What's the crew plan for next LAN yet? We have not set a date for next LAN yet. I still have to edit the land from May. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out in July. I'm going to aim for in August. Before PAX is when I'm going to try to get that out by. But yeah, no plans yet. We usually don't start planning until like 3-ish months out from the next LAN. And we aren't even 3 months from the last LAN. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer. I'm curious, since you said GPUs have other factors besides VRAM, what other things should you look for buying a GPU? Just look at the overall performance. Here, let me show you an example. Okay. So, let's see, tech power up, and we're just gonna use the 3060 12GB as an example. So, and I use this because I've actually seen people. And we saw, I think Kale mentioned it previously. What is important? So memory type is also important. So the 3060 12GB is GDDR6. The 5060 and 4060 are GDDR7. So memory bus, bandwidth, and all that's important, even though on some of the newer, lower, or entry-level cards, they start cutting those. But it's not just a side-by-side exact like comparison when you have different generations of memory types, because GDDR7 has more capability, even if you have a smaller memory bus and bandwidth. But clock speeds, I would say you don't really have to usually worry too much about clock speed, base and boost clocks and stuff like that, and memory clocks, just because they usually, like, those all fall into line with regards to what tier the companies put these cards. But not only that, sometimes you have lower end cards pushing higher clock speeds to make up for the performance, because the core, the shader units and stuff are lacking. So tensor cores, ray tracing cores, whatever. I don't even think you really have to pay too much attention to the cache, but the shading units is pretty important, because that's how many cores are on the actual GPU itself. But yeah, so memory size is just one parameter of these cards, and I think people kind of overinflate it, and they start making bad decisions when they decide they want to pick a 12GB 3060 here, for example, over, say, an 8GB 4060 Ti, which comes in at almost 50% higher performance. And let's see how much 4060 Ti's are going for. So 8GB 40, these are probably stupidly priced just because they're still relatively recent. Oh, is this legit? 4060 Ti, 8 gigs. This, oh yeah, pay more, San Clara. Yeah, look at this, 269 versus oh man, we didn't even get to the story yet. Oh, we're only 30 minutes in the stream. Perfect. I guess we can get now into the conversation. So the stream title, and sorry guys, I've been reading chat and everything. Firefox over Chrome. I use Chrome in my personal browsing. I use Firefox for the stream just to keep them separated, so that I don't dox myself. So, you know, sometimes autofill and stuff puts your address and name and phone number and that kind of stuff. I just keep it like auto suggest and all that crap, even though you're using incognito mode. I just don't want to risk it. So yeah, I use Firefox for the stream. I just want to use a completely separate browser. But I do use Chrome normally. But yeah, so this is, I mean, we've known that they were going to resurrect the 3060 12GB for a while now. But I don't know if they ever gave an exact date. But apparently they've just been rolling out these cards and listing them silently without actual proper announcements. Though it looks like Palette actually did an announcement for this, because they posted within the last day or two officially on their like Instagram and stuff. So that's kind of like an announcement. But with regards to the tech news cycle, we haven't been seeing it too much. But yeah, NVIDIA just relaunched its 5-year-old graphics card, the RTX 3060, in order to combat the component scarcity driven by AI. This resurrection has been a staggered release with companies like Gigabyte and Manly. I don't know if I've ever... Manly. If I'm even pronouncing that correctly. Silently listing their renewed variants in different parts of the world. Today, Palette joins the list with an... so Palette actually had an official announcement, whereas these two just silently listed them. Announcement for its 3060 Infinity 2 OC, the first official indication of Ampere's return. So this is the first announcement apparently for these. So let me see where the price is. It continues to stand as the reigning champion in Steam hardware survey. Is that true? Let me see where it is with regards to today's hardware survey. Right now, 3060, what? A 4060 laptop GPU is the #1 slot. So the 3060, and it doesn't specify 12 or 8 gig. So it's kind of combined. I don't know if that's considered cheating, but it is what it is. 3060 is at the top of the list for desktop GPUs, only to be beaten by the laptop 4060. And if we look at the trends, last month, or in May, actually, the 3060, what? Whoa, we have some weird numbers here from February. 9%. I remember seeing this when the 50 series cards were at the top of the Steam hardware survey. I don't remember what the reasoning was, but yeah, they had way higher percentages. Something seemed off about these numbers. But then 3060 basically took back control. So it is a popular card, but just because it's popular because it's had its whole like typical product cycle of life to exist. So, you know, it's been bought new and it's been bought used in the secondhand market. Like, it's had plenty of time to stew to make its way up the charts and get into the hands of a lot of gamers. What's up? They ate right before they went down. Oh, hi, cutie. Oh my goodness, the girls! They're so cute! But yeah, the 3060 re-releasing. Let me see if, can we even find it? Is it anywhere in the US? Palette is not even a US brand. Let's look at Newegg. Are there any 3060 12GB? Here we go. Brand new from Asus. 360. What did I put on the thumbnail? Didn't I put 330? I guess this is an AIB card. 360? What are we even doing here? So those are refurbished. I don't know if you exist out there and you're considering buying a brand new 3060 12GB for $360 over a 5060 8GB for $350. I think you need to hear this. VRAM is not the most important indicator for a graphics card performance. Where's that tech power up? The 5060 actually performs worse than the 4060 Ti 8GB, but it's still 40% better. I understand buying a used 3060 12GB for some, you know, definitely nowhere near $300. I don't even know what my price target would be for a 3060 12GB. Let's see what they're going for on different websites like eBay. We're gonna go back to eBay. We're gonna go to 12GB 3060s and see what we can find. NVIDIA should have just made a 3070 16GB for this 30 series re-release, 12GB of VRAM. Dude, even if they made a 12GB 3070, at least that puts it in line with the 6700 XT VRAM count with similar performance level, right? Yeah. Okay, let's see. What are we looking at for buy it now listings? For 12GB 3060s. Parts only, parts only. Yes, I see them in their cute outfits. Hi, girls. You just bought... Here. I gotta show the stream. You run away? You run away when I try to... Hello? Okay, never mind. They were just staring down here, seeing what I was doing, but... You can buy pre-owned used. We're gonna look for used. $250. Yeah, so the basic... Oh, wait. Are these 12GB versions? They are 12 gigs. So for 250 used, but this one's like missing a fan and stuff. It needs to be at least 100 lower. Yeah. I mean, brand new, maybe I could see them swinging like 275 or something. I don't know. It's kind of hard because being new, there is some value to that. Because you get the warranty, you're the first time owner, you know it hasn't been abused, mined on, all that crap. But I don't 360 for the Asus one, I don't think that's it. And yeah, so where's the, you said the B580, in most modern titles the B580 is way faster, dude. So B580 comes in at about 17% faster according to this data, but Tech Power Up is pretty spot on with their numbers. I haven't even looked at B580. Remember when B580s last year were the hardest thing in the world to find at MSRP? Let's look at what the situation is today. 309. Oof. Okay, so it's not that much better. No, there's no 250 model. Extra discount available. What? Unlock it here. You can get $20 off. So that brings it to $299. No, wait, $289. I'm bad with math. $289. Sorry. Still $290 for this card. That's not that much faster than a 12GB 3060, which is readily available in the used market. Again, and it's an Intel card, which Intel, I don't even know what they're gonna be doing in terms of like Celestial being canceled, and if Druid and any of the other follow-up ones are even still on the table. So yeah, I don't know if I would buy a 5080 unless it was pretty discounted in the secondhand market. In the new market, it's looking like the prices are kind of crap. I mean, I'm assuming it is due to memory shortages. B580 is bad if you have an older system without resizable bar, though. I think it depends on the title. It's not straight across the board. Every title without resizable bar performs badly. But yeah, it's one of those things where if you get a B580, you have to know what games you are playing and plan to play, and you have to look up specific benchmarks for them. Because yeah, the averages don't tell the story, especially if you have a specific use case with older hardware. So yeah, hey, what's up, Hazard Me? The 5800 XTD was even, let me see. So let's talk about, since we're talking about re-releases. So we talked about the 3060. Yeah, kind of. This is such a. I feel bad for anyone who feels like they are kind of like cornered into buying a brand new 3060 re-release because they just don't know how to navigate the used market, or you know, they got tricked into thinking the 12 gigs of VRAM is worth overpaying for it. But looking at the 5800 X3D, I think, I don't remember, the first day or the first stream back when it launched, was it sold out? Because it's readily available right now. So I don't think this is something that scalpers are buying up to try to like resell at a higher price. Yeah, you could add this to cart and buy it right now. Not only that, Micro Center has them 50 XRD right now for $300. But not everyone has a Micro Center. Again, at $300, I still think this is too expensive. Like, I'm picking up a used 5800X for half the price. And that's a good enough processor for like most use cases. I will turn up the graphic settings to balance the GPU CPU load if I need to. I don't know, man. Is everybody a freaking pro playing like CS2 and needs like 500 FPS with 1% loads of 499 or something like that? I don't think the non-XRD chips give that bad of a performance that we should be paying $300 even for a 5800 XRD. But Micro Center, if you are set on buying one of these, they do seem to have them in stock at this price. I don't know if this is a temporary sale or what, but right now it is cheaper. And they are seemingly readily available. There is no shortage. So yeah, whoever wants to buy them can buy them at these dumb prices. Let's see what they're going for on eBay though. $339, $340. Okay, so this one's brand new. But what are these people smoking? Why would anyone buy a used 5800 XRD when they can buy a new one for cheaper at Micro Center or for the same price at Newegg? Even $340 plus delivery. These are all the listings though. Oh wait, no, there's more. There's more. There's more people smoking. Look at this person. Oh, look, they got the 10th anniversary edition. This is the new one they bought, and they're, I'm assuming, scalping, unless they got ripped off and bought it for more than $350 because it's readily available right now, soon after release. But they are holding the box of the new one. This is brand new. They're trying to get $385 for it. I wonder. This person has 1 point. I wonder if this is a reseller or scalper. Will NVIDIA support the 3060 12GB for longer driver updates because they are re-releasing it? That's actually a good question. I think that's not really a concern though, because even when it goes into like maintenance and legacy mode, graphics cards perform just fine, even on brand new titles. You don't need day one drivers for, if anything, you don't need day one optimized drivers to like play games. And if there's a major problem, that's on the developers to fix their side of things with the game with a patch, not on the graphics card manufacturer. Because yeah, like there's so many cards that people are still using to this day and age that have not had modern driver support, at least like, you know, I guess officially supported ones. Like they've been long in maintenance mode and stuff like that, and they can play games just fine. Like the RX 580 8GB, you could throw modern titles at it so long as it doesn't require like hardware ray tracing and things like that, and it'll play just fine on whatever the heck the last driver version for that is. So the 3060 12GB, I like personally, I'm not too concerned if they don't extend its, you know, driver support, day one optimization and stuff like that any further than they already plan to. But that is an interesting question that I didn't even think about, because I don't think it's a problem. But re-release driver support extended. Let's see if we can find anything on this. Because the 12 it's been revived by NVIDIA and partner manufacturers, driver support remains active. Okay, this stupid AI not giving us any useful information. There is a consensus that hardware forms NVIDIA will continue to support with game ready and security drivers for years to come, but there's no official statement. I don't know what the reset era. I don't know what this source is. What's up? They both had very big poops already. Yeah. Oh, I thought she did. You said at night, right? Oh, okay. So that makes sense. What? Have you not seen me pulling up people's messages and reading this? Yes, I do read the chat. I don't read everybody's chat because that would be impossible. There's too many things, but you know, I look through and I just read stuff. And if you kind of get lucky, then I pull your message up. But yeah. I wonder. So other people are wondering the same thing here, but yeah, it doesn't look like there's any official statement on it. I don't even know where you would go. Maybe if you went to the NVIDIA forum and then there was like an official NVIDIA staff there or something, they could comment on it. Or if you ping them on Twitter or Instagram, they might answer. But yeah, it doesn't look like it has been stated anywhere. 4-year-old post is what they were referencing in the AI. This is why you can't trust AI. But okay, let me see. NT Tech says, my PC pooped out and I have been gaming on a mini PC with the 780M. So, dude, I want to play with one of these mini PCs for a video one of these days. Surprisingly capable, Fortnite high settings, 1440p. Yeah, those mini PCs, I mean, there's no upgraded path or like upgradability with them. But for the ones that have like the pretty powerful APUs, they're, let's see, mini PC AMD. I've seen some for like, so under $500, and this one I think comes with RAM and everything too. So you get a mobile Ryzen 7 processor, which isn't any slouch. 16 gigs of DDR5 memory, 1 terabyte storage, and it has a APU on it for $500. Now, yes, this thing is tiny too, by the way. This thing is like smaller than a Steam machine. But I mean, look at, you're talking about over $100 worth of SSD, about $200 worth of memory. It is laptop memory, but and then, you know, the main board, as well as the APU on it. Value proposition wise, for $500, this isn't bad, but just know that you can upgrade the SSD. I don't know if the RAM is soldered on. I don't think it is, but you are stuck with that 780M and 7840 HS. Does this one have the 780M? Yeah, this one has the 780M in it. You're stuck with it. That's essentially no upgrade to CPU or GPU. But for the super small form factor, for low power draw, and for $500, I think specs to price, this is like pretty sweet. But then when you look beyond it to upgradability, it completely blows. This will do for grandma's solitaire. This will do for an emulation machine. Like the 780M is perfectly capable for, you know, running retro emulation. It's perfect, yeah, for grandma who needs to check, you know, pay bills online, check their bank account, and then when grandkids come over, they can play the retro emulation machine. I think there are others cheaper than this even. Let me see if I can find any. Maybe not for the 780M. Ooh, what's this one? So this one has a Ryzen upgraded. Okay, never mind. That's the bare bones kit. So there's probably no storage in RAM. Sometimes these go on sale. I think the 780Ms could get into the 400-ish range. This one's bare bones, so no RAM, SSD, OS, yeah. But yeah, mini PCs are pretty sweet. I need to play with one on not on stream, but like in a video one of these days. I wonder how those mini PCs would compare to the Steam Deck in performance. I think they're pretty similar, no? Because you gotta remember, Steam Deck is playing with FSR or with upscaling and a lower resolution, and not even targeting high refresh rate. If they're gonna re-release the GPU, at least give us the 1080 Ti. I'm still on the search for a 1080 Ti. Because I'm not willing to pay over $100 for one. And I kind of want the Founders Edition one, so that's what makes it hard. Because the stupid Founders Edition one, not stupid, but it's stupid because it's so expensive for what it is. I was gonna look on Facebook Marketplace. Let's look at what these 3060 12 gigabytes are. These even in my local area? 289. Okay, it's California. Nope, let's go away from California. Let's go put in my zip code and see what we can find. 300, 285, 220 at Gold Bar. Gig Harbor, there's one for 200. So yeah, these are much more reasonable prices. Actually, I think $200 for a 3060 12 gig. I mean, what else are we gonna get? Actually, no, I think you can get AMD equivalent cards that are more powerful than this. For around $200. But if you're like a Nvidia person, then I guess this wouldn't be a too bad of a deal. 325, 250, 300. Here's the Zotac 3060. They probably, this person, Anacortis, they probably don't know. We can't even read the label on that. So hard to tell if it's a 12 gig card or not. We can't. Can I zoom in? Nope. Open. Copy image link. Let me see if I can. Can we zoom into this image to see if it's a 12 gig card? Yeah, I think that reads 12 gigs right there. 12 GOC. So how much was that one? $200 in Graham, Washington. I mean, it is kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm like way up here-ish. So that it wouldn't be worth the savings to drive to Graham just to pick up this card. The time alone I would rather just spend extra money and not do that. But yeah, so we go back to this being $360 makes no sense. Imagine the content. Nah, I could get the same content by picking up local hardware, Jason. I had one of those super budget mini PCs with a dual 2.5 gig NIC running with OPN Sense as my home gateway. It worked great. What was the specs on yours though, specifically? Was it like, because the mini PCs, the one that we were just looking at, like when you're trying to max out the integrated graphics and stuff like that, they get pretty expensive, but they also have mini PCs for like $200. And I'm assuming you're probably using one of those cheaper ones for what you're doing to make it more cost efficient. But yeah, if you look at mini PC, you can get them as low as, look at this thing, but this has an Intel Celeron in it. So, but I mean, it does come with RAM and storage for $280. What integrated graphics would this even have? Probably something really bad. But yeah, there's a lot of different mini PCs. Here's one. So this has a Ryzen 3550H with Vega 8 graphics, which is, if you guys ever use Vega 8, it's you can play LOL and Valorant, and everything else is just gonna run like pretty dog water. Wait, Jason, Ant-Man, it's not happening, big dog. What has Ant-Man been spamming? Ant-Man, Jason just brought attention to whatever you've been spamming. Can you please look up DeepCool AI Pod? What is this? Ant-Man, I can't ever trust that you are asking... Oh, another goon tube? Just for the lulz, we will... because Ant-Man's been asking so badly, and we did talk about Razer's variant of this. But, okay. I wasn't, like, at first when I read it, it looked like you were trying to say AirPods, but world's first 3D AI character pod. Get yours today. So, remember Razer's? I don't even remember what the Razer thing was called. I'm curious, is Razer even... Let me see. Razer Ava, that's what it was called. But it's funny how I type in Razer GoonTube, and that comes up. But yeah, Razer Ava. Oh, I guess you can still reserve it. Wait. How do I reserve this? Proceed to reservation page. Oh, I gotta do this? Let me see. But let's look at this one. So you can choose your character, make it some anime girl or some Gundam or something, okay? Parallax free spatial display, one of its kind. Like I said with the Razer GoonTube, I don't want this to be like Clippy or, you know, just a generic Siri or Google AI assistants where it just talks to you. If you're gonna put a holographic character in a tube like this, the character's movements and behavior also needs to have like pretty advanced AI in it. Where if I told this character like, hey, you know, I want you to do 3 jumping jacks, and then squat in place, like, and you know, generate a barbell on your back. Like, I want it to be able to do what voice is able to basically do. And voice AI is, and text AI is very advanced. Like, you can have full-on conversations, and even when you get into obscure territories, like, you can do that stuff. But for this, like, it's not cool to me if it's just a character there that's doing, like, very NPC generic type movements, swaying back and forth, and, like, you know, pre-rendered stuff. Like, if we're gonna take AI to the next level with these tube characters, the characters need to be able to like behave and move on their own. That's when it's gonna be. And okay, let me read chat just to make sure. Why she gotta be in a tube? Why can't it just be a screen? Yeah, and why are they all in tubes? I know the only issue though is when you do get to the capabilities where these AI things are able to literally generate what you tell them to, like visually, people are gonna do some really weird, kinky, and borderline, like, you know, they should have the FBI checking them on them. But not me. Like, that's not what I'm interested in, right? Like, I just don't think these... Why have the visual aspect of it if the characters can't essentially act and move on their own, and they're just restricted to, like, you know, a set library of movements? So yeah, back to this though. What is this? Order now. How much is this thing? Kickstarter, of course. It successfully funded on August. Wait, what? Oh, this thing's old then. August of last year, probably. $1.5 million reached. What were the prices? Funding period. Let me see. The rewards. Okay, so AU $993 US. When do these things ship? Oh, November 2026. We can't even see what this thing is like. Cheaper than Tinder Premium? I mean, if you're talking about 10 years of Tinder Premium or something. I have no idea. I'm assuming Tinder Premium is like $10 a month or something. It might be cheaper. Dude, $999. Ant-Man, did you order one? I think she has to be in a tube for reasons. Yeah. That's hella true, not gonna lie. They're going to take down the Gooner Squad. You can't put a price on loneliness? Dude, your phone, if you have an iPhone or Android, there is AI that will talk to you. You could subscribe to Grok for much cheaper than this, and Grok is known for being programmed to flirt with you. Dude, okay. Is there anything else to talk about hardware before we start getting to weird topics? Because AI chat bot, voice chat bot. Like, I'm sure there's so many of these that exist already. Voice chat, deepai.org. Chat with AI using your voice. Does the AI talk back in voice? I'm assuming so. Do we do this live on stream? Let me see. Oh, okay. Can I use the same mic for this one too? Hello, AI. How are you?
Hi there. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Okay, so this is pretty cool. I didn't even have to log in. So, okay, let's see. So I'm feeling, wait, can you hear me right now? What's going on?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Everything's... Got it. If there's...
You're hearing yourself. Okay, I gotta mute this. I gotta put headphones on. That's what I gotta do.
No problem at all. Putting on headphones should help reduce any feedback. Take your time and let me know when you're ready.
Is it doubling up audio for you guys? Or is it fine? Is the audio fine coming from it?
It sounds...
Oh, what? Daily voice chat limit exceeded. 61 seconds used today. Pro subscription required. I could even ask and tell him I was lonely to see what it was. New call. Okay, let's see if this works. It's all good. Okay. So the audio's good. No. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Hume AI. Look, how many gallons of water am I burning up right now? How many trees am I killing by doing this? Can I just AI chatbots that talk to me? I'm literally searching for what we're looking for. Replica. Here we go. Get the app. Oh my god. Okay. But all we're saying is you don't need to spend $1,000 for this, even though what we were just using didn't have any visuals. It was just voice. But if you're lonely, I don't know, that might be enough. Also, I don't know, man, there's like online communities of people playing games, whatever game you like playing. You could probably find a Discord server where people do that. I don't think a $1,000 anime character in a tube is the solution to loneliness. This is why RAM is so high. Not just this. There's a lot of other use cases with AI. But this is one of the reasons. Yeah. Jason says, ask her if you can hit. Jason, this is a PG stream, okay? Ant-Man was thinking of getting one. As many as required, AI comes first before self-destructive habits. I'm not that darn lonely. The planet just got 1 degree warmer as a result of that. Sorry, we can only be friends for 60 seconds, then you gotta pay me. I know, right? Gone in 60 seconds for real. Yes. I wonder if they're ever gonna remake that movie. I feel like It's one of the movies where I could see it getting a remake, and the remake would suck in comparison to the original Nick Cage version. Jason needs modded law. Jason is modded. What? What are you talking about? At least I think he is. Wait, yeah, he's got the mod thing. He's a mod. Grimlong loves Jason. Favorite person, one of his favorite persons in the world. This is why France is so hot. She will say strike 3 year out. When every shoe sale app has AI, parts will get cheaper, hopefully. What? When every shoe sale app has AI, parts will get cheaper. I don't understand what you mean by that. If anything, when all these apps use more and more AI, wouldn't that be the opposite? For my first build, I got a Gigabyte B550 MK with the Ryzen 5500. I was only able to get 16 gigs of DDR4 gaming RAM that runs at 3600. I mean, it's just RAM. There's a gaming RAM. RAM is RAM. Maybe you could classify like the really fast and tightly timed stuff as gaming RAM, but it's just RAM that runs at 3600 megahertz. Pretty standard for DDR4 by this point. I have a 2TB NVMe SSD with 1TB HDD, and my graphics card is a 5060. I mean, that's a pretty standard like entry-level budget build. A lot of people go for the Ryzen 5500 just because it's dirt cheap. I think it's like what, $80 or something. Typically, yeah, $80 at Walmart, and I think also at Amazon. It's usually around that price. If I can find it at Amazon. Why did it not pop up? Yeah, so you're talking about like an $80 processor, right? And it's a good enough processor, especially if you're not pairing anything too crazy, like graphically with it. But yeah, I think, yeah, it'd be hard to find a 5600 for $80. You'd have to look pretty hard. So yeah, I mean, it's not the worst, what's it called, processor in the world. I think people kind of give it crap, but it's like, dude, what are you expecting for brand new $80? If you're expecting more than a Ryzen 5500, then I don't know what to tell you. You gotta tame your expectations. For what this chip is still capable of, allowing people to game at this low of a price, and the numbers it can still put up in like just games in general and even modern games, I have no problem with this processor existing at the price that it does. Yeah, but see, the thing is, not everyone is okay with used parts, and not everyone has like a local market around them that makes it worthwhile to get a 3600. Yeah, I think that's the incentive for people in the like flipping community and the people who are familiar with used hardware and stuff. They would rather spring for a 3600 and potentially even save more money. They had sellout on Woot for... They had it for 65 today? Let me see. Sellout Woot. Can I even search for it? Computers. No, I need computer parts. Why is sellout Woot being so slow? Okay, computer parts. You think you're thinking of upgrading your 5500? How long have you had this Ryzen 5500 for? Like, did you just build this and now you're already wanting to upgrade? Or like, have you had this for like over a year? Disappointment. Okay, cool. Cool. 5600G is faster? Yeah, but how much are 5600Gs going for? And you're going to say, go in the used market. And I'm going to say, not everyone buys in the used market. Because if they did, they would have already not picked up a 5500, right? So, 5600Gs, yeah. Can you even buy these new anymore? Probably at some... who are we talking about here? 5600G is a 5500... okay, whatever you guys are arguing about in the comments, I would expect something that is more than double the price of something else to be faster. Yes, that is typically how things work. Like, look at the last page because it's sold out. Oh crap, where'd it go? Oh, I got like a million tabs open right now. Maybe we can just find it. I mean, it would just come up, wouldn't it? Computer parts and components. So you see the yeah, because they put the sold out listings at the end, right? But I don't think it loaded. It's not gonna load. It's gonna say disappointed rainbow. Watch. Oh wait, only maybe the first part is disappointed rainbow. Nope, every page is disappointed rainbow. Cool. It just says no deals. Did they like wipe all the deals from it or something? What the heck? I recently got a free RX 6700 XT. How you get one for free? I want one of those for free. Those are great cards. Would this be a big upgrade? Enough upgrade for my son's gaming PC with a 2070 Super? It would. Let me look. I forget, dude. The 20 series cards pretty much has like almost been wiped from my memory with regards to like their performance, relative performance, and all that stuff. So it looks like it's about a 20% difference, though you are gaining 4 gigs of VRAM. 20%. You asked, would it be a big enough upgrade? I mean, you got it for free. Why not throw it in and sell the 2070 Super or reuse the 2070 Super for something else? You get a little bit more longevity just because it is a more powerful card and you're upping the VRAM by 50%. So yeah, it's like just throw it in and do whatever the heck you want with this. Maybe sell it and make a little bit of money back, or whoever gave you the 50 or the 6700 XT, maybe give them the 2070 Super and let them do whatever with it. You built your 5060 Ryzen 5500 build a year and a bit ago. You have old parts from your old PC, so I was looking to maybe use it with that for a fun project, but I'm not sure if it's to upgrade that. If you built it a year ago, this is all right. Chat, let's see how much people have been listening for like the last, I don't know how many years I've echoed this sentiment. Should Logan upgrade their Ryzen 5500 RTX 5060 PC with a better processor? I'm going to let you guys answer what is the right answer before I do it myself. Let's see who the first person is going to get the right answer is. The main thing is that cheaper parts make gaming more accessible to many people. That's why the Ryzen 5500 exists. Yeah, that's true. Logan should just sell all his gear and start looks maxing. No. I'm not shutting you to pieces. You're fine. I'm just curious if the rest of the viewers have been paying attention, because there is a very correct answer to this, and I'll give you the answer in a second. Not enough performance for price. Okay. Depends on what you're using it for. Okay. I don't think anyone said the right answer yet. You guys gave some pretty good answers, but there is one correct answer. There's like one answer that to beat them all. You guys, like, not enough performance for the price. I would... Wait, I don't know if that was with regards to that, but depends on the game being played. That is true. That is a good answer, but it is not the right answer. The answer is technically it depends, but that's too vague. There's a more specific answer than that. You upgrade when the need arises. Depends on resolution. Okay. So the answer, and you guys will remember this because I've said this so many times on stream, but the answer depends on when you are currently using your PC. Do you feel like the gaming experience you are getting is bad enough where you want to spend more money on an upgrade? We all know spending more money is going to get you more performance, more FPS, better 1% lows, all that kind of stuff. I don't care about any of that. All I care is when I'm gaming, am I thinking, wow, I'm enjoying playing this game? Or is the gaming experience so bad that my FPS is so low, or it is stuttering so much that it is hindering my ability to enjoy the game itself? So none of us can answer that for you because we don't have that system sitting in front of us playing, you know, whatever specific game. If you are enjoying the system as it is and it's playing the games you want to play, then I say save your money. Do not let the videos that you're watching online, the Reddit posts, you know, the benchmarks and all that stuff, don't let that make you think you need something better if what you have is serving you well. Like, people always ask, should I upgrade the hardware? The answer is always, is it so bad of an experience that you feel the need to throw more money at it, right? Basic Pixel says, as long as you're getting 60 FPS, it doesn't matter. And of course, it depends, right? Like for me, if I was a person who had limited income, let's say I was back in high school, didn't have a job, and I have this Ryzen 5500 RTX 5060 PC sitting in front of me, and I think today, playing modern games at 1080p, that's enough. And you only built it like a year ago. I would say, me personally, if I had that PC as my personal PC, I'm not upgrading it. That will still get me, you know, by for a while longer. I know that combo is capable of playing games at least 60 FPS. And when you're working in a budget range of a build that entry level, you gotta tailor your expectations. We're not out here expecting 4K 300 FPS gameplay out of that processor and graphics card. Like, buying that, there's an expectation of, we're aiming for like 1080p 60 with higher, you know, when you're playing esports and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, with limited funds, you gotta work with what you have. People overthink this stuff. Just play games, man. Lol. Yes, that is also a really good answer. I know we might be a part of the problem. I don't know, man. I feel like even when I do reviews and do PC builds and benchmarks and stuff like that, I feel like I make it pretty clear that, like, you don't need the best stuff. And you don't need to constantly be throwing money at your system. At least, maybe in my videos, I need to do better at that. But I know on these streams, I am constantly harping that. 360p makes its return. Oftentimes, people just upgrade for the sake of upgrading, not because of what they need. Yes, exactly. They see, it's like a fear of missing out type of feeling. And like, they're seeing everyone else is upgrading, and they're seeing all the videos pop up on their timeline from all the content creators they subscribe to saying, hey, this thing's out, this thing's great and stuff. But it's like, if the machine works for what you use it for, just save your money. The good thing about saving money is the longer you wait and save your money, the higher chances of when you do finally upgrade next, you're gonna get the newest, latest thing available. I think upgrading just 1 year after building, or maybe a year and some change after building this PC, it's a little bit too soon. Again, unless the performance is so horrible that you don't even enjoy playing games on your PC. Then at that point, I would say, yeah, maybe you made a mistake and bought way too low end of hardware. Go ahead and upgrade your CPU. I've just seen a lot about the 5060, and it's been on my mind. If I'm doing right with the 5500, I'm happy and like the way it performs. I just want to see if it was that bad of a bottleneck. See, you're going off of what you've read and what you've seen. You need to ignore all of that and focus on your experience playing with that system. People online don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm even going to go as far as to say a lot of content creators, they like over sensationalize how bad hardware is. Something comes out and it's like not the best bang for buck dollar, horrible CPU, garbage from AMD, whatever the heck. That type of title and thumbnail, it drives views, it drives rage baiting. That's not how it really works in the real world. Everybody says like, you know, 8GB graphics cards suck. You know how many people out there are buying 8GB graphics cards while it's still at the top of the Steam charts, even in the current gen graphics cards and stuff? Because people buy this stuff and they play their games with it. Not everyone is turning on FPS counters and comparing side by side one graphics card to another. They're just using their hardware and enjoying gaming. They're not like... people min-max this hobby to the point where they can't even have fun playing games anymore. And all they care about is the numbers. All they care about is the performance and relative performance and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's bad for the hobby. I understand making the most informed decision you can and getting the best deal that you can. But if you've already bought the system and you're enjoying it, just leave it at that. Stop reading reviews. Stop reading Reddit comments. Stop watching benchmarks and reading the overly toxic, you know, comments that people leave on everything nowadays. It's literally don't fix what ain't broke. Exactly. The longer you wait now, the more expensive things get. I mean, not really, because things are going to hit the used market. You can buy secondhand things. Plus, the market could, you know, shift if this AI bubble pops. You don't know things are going to get more expensive. But you do know that the longer you wait, the more, like, advanced and, you know, not top of the line, but the newer architecture, newer stuff is going to come out the longer you wait. So... buying a system that you've only had for like a year, I think you can just hold off. Yeah, stop reading stuff to make you like second guess yourself and just enjoy playing the games. Even a 6-core potato will run fine with a good GPU. That's somewhat true. We're talking about like 6-core single thread, like what Intel had. Or 6-core AMD FX 6300. That might struggle quite a bit. Never trust a content creator who has a link to Starforge law. They know nothing about PCs. Hey, if Starforge wanted to sponsor me, I might, you know, put the link in the description. Dude, people got to get their bag, right? But I think it's also on the consumer to ask questions to the right communities and do their own research before spending on things. I haven't looked at, let's look at Starforge now that you bring it up. Starforge, when they first came out, they were very competitively priced. Let's see what they have right now. The issue is all pre-builts are kind of expensive right now. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily a bad deal because pre-built computers have their place. Okay, let's get the Core series. What's the cheapest pre-built they have right now? $1,300. What are we getting? Please tell me it's not like a 5060 with like a 13th or 14th gen i5. Let me see if I can predict what they're gonna give us for $1,300. i5 14th gen. Oh, they put a 9060, which is the equivalent of a 5060, especially the 8 gig model. DDR5 16 gigs 1 terabyte. Oh, this is kind of rough. So I was pretty spot on. I didn't guess an AMD graphics card, but I guessed the NVIDIA equivalent. But I mean, I don't even know what the best pre-built SI is right now. I think this is pretty standard. Even if we were to go to Skytech, and let's go to Skytech. Let's see what $1,300 gets us at Skytech. No, so here's the thing about Reddit. You need to know what to filter out. I wouldn't say ignore Reddit, because Reddit is actually very useful for a lot of information. You just need to be able to filter out the overly toxic, negative people versus the people there who are actually trying to help, which there is a lot of people. But let's look at Skytech, $1,300 PC. What are they offering? I think all the pre-built SIs are kind of hurting right now. Like, they just are not able to give decent deals. Oh god, not this again. Okay, so Skytech 11 Vision. So this one for $100 more, you get a i7 14th gen 5060 Ti. So you get a bump up in both CPU and graphics card. So you still get 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. You do get a nice what was this case? This case was a Fantex XT. Okay, V3. I think most people would say the O11 Vision case is nicer. Plus, that has an AIO versus this has a like a very cheap $20 cooler. This one has a 360 AIO for $100 more. So yeah, Skytech I think is bringing more value, even though it is a little bit more expensive. But still, I mean, I guess the i7 does command a decent more amount of money, but it's just a weird pairing to put it with the 5060 Ti. So this probably isn't their best config. Flash sale, ooh, 5% off. But yeah. Spend money on a good monitor instead. This is somewhat of a true statement, but I don't know if with a Ryzen 5500 RTX 5060 build, I don't know if there's that much money to be spent on a nicer monitor. You might be like getting too nice of a monitor for the graphics card and CPU, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I think typically I would reserve saying spend money on a good monitor if someone had a beefier system that they weren't, you know, getting their full visual enjoyment out of with, you know, whatever standard run-of-the-mill monitor. But for entry-level systems, like if your PC has a Ryzen 5500 and RTX 5060 in it, you're probably working with like a $900 to $1,000 PC. I don't know if it makes sense to then go and spend $400 to $500 on a nice monitor. I guess you could buy like a nice sub $200 monitor. That still gets you what? We're talking about like, that's like at least high refresh rate, but I don't know if it's high refresh rate 1440p. But someone threatened to sue Jason in a comment because he talked about Nvidia. So I don't know if this is one of your fake lie stories, Jason, or the way you wrote it, I think you're lying. But I wouldn't be surprised if if someone not threatened to sue you, but like left some other super toxic stuff on your video about the 3050, because that's a meme card to a lot of people. But yes, Jason tells a lot of fake lie stories. Why would you buy that garbage CPU? Just spend... Yeah, I don't like when people say just spend more money and get this instead, even though I know I sometimes do it, but I try to limit myself. The only reason I would do that is if it was truly a garbage product or like the price was so close that it makes sense. But when people are like telling you to spend a whole $100-$200 more from one product tier to another, it's like, no duh, if I spend more money on PC components, I can get a better PC component. That's not what I needed you to tell me. Like, people are always like, just spend another $30 here, another $40 there, and then all of a sudden you're like into a whole new tier of category of products. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Recently, I've been seeing the hidden 5060 videos, and it seems like kind of a mistake, but I got it for 260, so it was a good deal. Yeah, if you got it for a good deal, then also don't worry about it. Yeah, you're running a GTX 970 from before, so yeah, you got a big performance up, like a huge boost. And wait, what's 260 pounds to USD? That's 350. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty standard pricing here in the US. But I think it's just more expensive over there. The Smash TV Network. You said you sent me an email with video proof of who you were. Did you think I was gonna forget? I did not forget. Not only did I not forget, I left myself a reminder in the Discord server. So until you send that, because how old are you now? You said you were like 40 or 50 or something, and that you had a Yahoo account from some year before Yahoo email even existed. Yeah. Until we see that, I don't take anything you say seriously anymore. I've actually called you out a number of times, Smash TV Network, and a lot of the times I forget to follow up, but no more. Now I follow up on everything. Jason is convinced that you are a Russian LARPing as an American. Jason doesn't even believe you're based in the United States. You did not send it. What email did you send it to? I checked my spam. There was no email. You cannot. I'm not going to believe that you sent it, because emails, when you send them, they either go to the inbox or spam. They don't just mysteriously disappear into the ether and not make it into one of those places. Danny, do some kindness content for Kyle. His PC is struggling. And when you said Kyle, at first I thought you meant Bitwit. I was like, I know his house burned down, but it seems like he's doing pretty well as of recent. And his new house looks like it's shaping up to be awesome. Kyle's PC is struggling. How much does Kyle make at his internship? Or like, you know, he's got to be making money for all the amount of work and hours he's spending, right? Kindness content for Kyle. I am not currently financially stable enough to do kindness content, especially planned kindness content. Kindness content usually works best when it's unplanned. So if I'm going to plan it, I got to be more fiscally responsible. And right now, the numbers on YouTube aren't the best. So I don't know if I can make that work. I don't know if it's in the budget. He works 1 day a week, but he cancels D&D every single week. What is this? All right, take it easy, Brandon. Hey, what's up, West? Be chilling. Long time. I feel like long time no see. It's been a while. Doing good. How are you doing? No one uses the 5600X. It's not bad, but 5600. Yeah, it's because the price difference. 5600s, you can overclock them to perform pretty much similar to it. And you can get it for noticeably cheaper. there are true lies. Huh? I feel like the younger people in chat wouldn't even know what true lies is. Stop. See, the thing about it though, Akuma, is Smash TV Network has been a part of the chat and stream for so long, and they do. It's not like they're just in here spamming and stuff like that. They've been like, I feel like they've been a not a core member, but like they've been in the streams and a dedicated viewer for long enough that I want to at least give them a chance to prove themselves. It's not like they're just someone who popped in yesterday and started spewing off lies, right? They've been watching the stream for years. And I think at one point they're in the Discord server too. But yeah, that's the only reason why I give them the time of the day. If it was just any random person, then yeah, I wouldn't. But yeah. People who have been part of the stream for a while, they'll know Smash TV Network. What email would I like you to resend it to? nob.nerdonabudget@gmail.com. Nerd on a budget. That is the email right there. Stop. Yeah, I do. I'm a leg tapper. I am not the Mr. Beast of PC gaming. I feel like there's other people who give away PC games. More. Dude, wouldn't that be Brett? Brett's always running some kind of giveaway with like way higher end components than me. I'm like the poor Mr. Beast version of PC giveaways. You guys seen the PCs I give away? They're like old stuff. But I think for me though, I try to find homes for those old hardware where they're even loved more than some people love their modern PCs. Like yeah, that means like the person needed it that much more, right? Can you check stream submissions? More of a let's see if chat can help. Okay, let's take a look. What is this now? Oh, it's already 6:40. Okay, we got like 20 minutes left on stream. Give me 1 second. Did I even start the benchmark? Okay, let's do it. All right, so what is this? Version of AMD software is not compatible with currently installed graphics driver. AMD software. 23 days ago. So Adrenaline updated to a new version that won't open since AMD software is not compatible. Use AMD cleanup to remove it all. Download new Adrenaline install saying the same thing. Okay. Yeah, AMD. I think I actually just ran into this recently. I installed the full package with Adrenaline with drivers for my 9070, and the next day Adrenaline just like didn't work. It had to re-download and reinstall to work. Has anyone gotten this? The version is not compatible. You probably can't help. So I didn't have this exact problem, but I had something similar. Wait, so you're essentially you can't get Adrenaline to work? And are you running like the latest drivers? What I would say is you don't need the latest drivers. So roll back 1 or 2 versions, install the driver with Adrenaline software package from, 1 or 2 driver versions ago, and see if that works. Have you tried that? How do you roll back? Just install DDU. Yeah, okay. So some people, yeah. So go grab DDU, and then uninstall. Use DDU to clean your drivers, and then just install the version 2. So what do you have? Which card do you have? It looks like you have the 7900 XT. Like from AMD's official website, you can just go to whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. Accept cookies. You can just go to previous versions, and then you click here, and then you can get something like from a month or 2 ago, and then reinstall that way. I know Windows loves to auto update your drivers as soon as you run DDU and restart. It's gonna give you some AMD drivers, but it usually gives you some really old stuff. So you can let it do the auto thing unless you want to go through your settings and stop it from automatically installing whatever random old drivers. And then you can update it to this. But yeah, so run DDU and then install manually, you know, 1 or 2 versions ago. Did I see the article from Daniel Owen about hardware info software now showing RTX 5000 series GPU hotspot temps for users? No, I didn't. So I guess, is there anything else from that, or is just one more piece of information that's useful for people to have? Hardware info has reported hotspot temps before. I guess I never realized what did 5000 series unique in that it didn't report it for that, but it has reported it for previous generations of NVIDIA or AMD cards. Y'all, what was your first PC? Mine, when people say first PCs, do they mean like the first PC even if it wasn't completely owned by you? Because whenever I answer this type of question, there's the first PC that I bought with my own money versus the first PC I used that was like the family PC. But you know, I didn't buy it. My parents obviously bought it for our schoolwork or something, but I just happened to play a lot of games on it. But I think there's a big distinction between the two. I couldn't tell you what our first PC specs was because this was like back in 1990, like 6 or 7 or, oh my god, I just did it. Around then, when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I know is that it had Windows 95 on it, and I played Math Blaster and random stuff, and Lego Island and things like that. But you know, at that age, I didn't even care about PCs beyond using it as a tool to play games on. Man, what I would do to go back in time and try to use a computer. We didn't even have an internet connection at that point in time. But yeah, I don't know what the very first specs of the first PC we had in our home was. The first PC I built with my own money, actually the first PC I bought with my own money was actually a laptop for college. And that was a Dell Inspiron 1520 with some Core 2 Duo and a 9600 GT in it. And then the first PC I built was, oh gosh, I don't remember which Intel CPU, but it had the GTX 280. That was the first tower I built with my own money. But yeah, I kind of wish I knew the details of that, but I could look up the CPU. I just have to go to my Newegg order history. But yeah, before that, I don't know. I found it interesting as multiple RTX GPU owner. I guess I've never. Has there ever been a case where, or how common is it where your hotspot temperature gets into like a dangerous range and just the overall package temperature is like completely normal. So you wouldn't know unless you knew the hotspot temperature. I don't know how common of an issue that is, because I would imagine if hotspot temperature is pretty high, core temperature, even though it's not as high, or package temperature, would be at least on the warmer side to give you some indication that, like, hey, something might not be okay here. But I've never personally dealt with problematic hotspot temperatures, I guess. All right, let me check my Gmail. We've got 10 minutes before I got to end stream. This is going to be exactly a 2-hour stream. Oh, we actually got sent something. What is this? It did get marked as spam. And okay, let me see this. It is a Yahoo email. I'm not going to say what the email is and dox you, but you did send it. And looking at the, let me see what this link is, because I mean, it is a YouTube video. It's a short. Okay, I'll watch it after the stream. But okay, you did it. I do give you props for actually sending it. I will review it later after the stream, and we can talk about it next week. So, okay, Jason, here, let me send you a screenshot of what it looks like without doxing their email. But it does look sketchy at first. I'll send it to Jason. An image. I don't know why it came through so weird, but this is what the body looks like. I'm not exposing your face, Smash TV Network. Don't worry. The message here. Okay, actually no. I'll put this on the Discord, so we can look at it together. Stream submissions. Here we go. So there's nothing. Yeah. So look, when I am sent typically a YouTube video or a YouTube Shorts or something, this is not what it looks like in my email. It does not pop up with this formatting for a YouTube preview of a video, but I did check the link. It is a legit youtube.com. Like it's not like an embedded link that's like a virus or something. So it's just funny. It went straight to spam, and this was the preview it gave, which does not look like the typical YouTube video preview in an email that I've ever seen. So I will review it and I will let you guys know if Smash TV Networks is indeed a real person next week's stream. Do you think it was an issue with Yahoo? I don't know. I don't use Yahoo email. It might be. It's weird how it went to spam though. I do have viewers email me pretty regularly just because of the nature of being a content creator and having a channel of decent size. I usually get them not going directly to spam. So, but also they're typically not emailing from a Yahoo email address. So I don't know if Yahoo has a higher chance of just being sent directly to spam. Whatever, use a robot lawnmower. I'm not convinced robot lawnmowers are worthwhile unless you have a really, really nice, perfect lawn. Like my lawn is not nice. There's tree roots, there's uneven terrain, there's some areas with like rocks. Unless lawnmowers have gotten to the point where they have good enough cameras and AI to like detect those things, I feel like your blade is just gonna get dinged up. And I'm just not convinced that like it could do wet grass that well, and like especially if you want a bag too. Like maybe if you're just cutting and just leaving the trimmings, then yeah, the robot lawnmower is okay. But when I mow my lawn, the amount of stuff that I'm bagging and throwing in the yard waste, that's so many trips this robot is gonna have to make. It just doesn't seem like efficient. I would rather just spend, you know, the 15 minutes or whatever it takes to mow my lawn with my cheap lawnmower than spend however much a robot lawnmower costs. But again, I have an imperfect lawn. Like, let's go and take a look at what a perfect, like let's see, perfect lawn. Yeah, if you have a lawn that looks like this, where it's like perfectly flat, you have really nice grass and stuff, I would imagine a robot would handle it well. I have an ugly lawn. Let me see if I can find image. I have a lawn that looks kind of like this, but it still grows grass in between. It has this. There's like a lot of weeds and stuff. No matter how much I pick the weeds, they come back. Like, yeah, my lawn is patchy. Like, I'm not convinced a robot lawnmower is worth it or would do a good job. Oh, moss. I have a lot of moss. So if you look closely at my grass, it's actually a lot of moss and not grass. And I feel like the robot lawnmower would not be able to handle moss that well. Have more faith. They know when the lawn is wet. So what do? Do they continue to cut it? Do they adjust the height and do layers at a time? It's one of the, here. We're talking about robot lawnmowers now, but hey, it's fun. You guys aren't here for the tech. I mean, this is still tech, but you guys aren't here for the PC tech all the time. You guys are here for the random, weird, off-the-cuff conversations we have. Yeah, see, what is the cheapest robot lawnmower? It looks like they're all at least $500. You can buy a really nice, like either electric battery powered or a gas lawnmower for the same price. Like, I mean, Jason, do you still use that robot lawnmower you did the sponsored video on? And would you, like, is it at all worth it? It's been long enough. I think you can say. You do actually. Do you think it's worth it? I mean, I would imagine you probably wouldn't have spent your own money on it, but if it's free, then it definitely, the value proposition is infinite. It's a lot of headaches sometimes. That's what I just imagined. Just because, like, robot, okay, here, I will say this. Robot vacuum, I use. I actually right now use a robot vac and mop combo. And I will say, with babies, it is amazing. If you're a pet owner, probably also amazing. But, like, that's easy. It's going over either, you know, carpet or hard flooring. Is like a lawn versus the flooring in your house is two completely different things. The amount of things that you're picking up is like, unless your house is completely dirty, like, it makes, to me, a robot like vacuum or a robot mop vacuum combo makes more sense, just because you know, like the bin that it could hold things in, it could do it in one trip, all that good stuff. I would say those are worth it for sure. I'm not convinced on the robot lawnmower though. You have to buy the property wiring, yeah, so that it doesn't like go too far off the boundaries, right? Is that what you're talking about? Sometimes it's amazing. It's a lot of headache. Google says yes. Many modern robot lawnmowers can tell when the lawn is wet using built-in rain sensors. I mean, I've seen, because I watch random like lawn mowing channels as well as like roof cleaning channels and stuff like that. I know that the professionals, they use a different grade of robot vacs. It's not the same ones that normal consumers get. And yes, they use ones that cost in the tens of thousands, if not $100,000. It's basically a seated lawnmower at that point. That's a robot. But that's a totally different, you know, product tier. But for like a consumer-based one, what did you say? I was gonna get one, thought maybe you could get it. Dude, you have no idea how many robot lawnmower companies reach out to me wanting to sponsor a dedicated video. That, to me, is like a dead video in the water. Maybe I'll do an integration pre-roll ad for it, My God, $5,400. But yeah, also pool cleaners. Do they not realize I live in Washington and the average person just does not have a pool? Like pool cleaners, robot vacuums and stuff, and robot lawn mowers. I get so many sponsor opportunities for them. I just don't want to do them because I don't think viewers care about that. And I don't think they will work well on my lawn. You map it out like a robot vacuum. So Jason's lawnmower uses LiDAR, so it knows based on scanning trees and like the sidewalk and the side of your house and stuff like that. It can map out and know where it is. So yeah, LiDAR in robot tech right now is so good. Like for our robot mop and vac combo, when it maps the house out, it's like almost instant. Whenever it like looks at one side of the house and it's like showing real time the house being mapped, it's crazy how accurate and quickly it can map it. And then yes, there's sometimes a sub fee of not only do you buy this expensive robot, but you gotta pay like X amount of dollars a month to use it. And I don't mow my grass right now. It's summer weather, so the grass is dead. The moss grass is dead, so it's perfect. So I don't have to mow it that often. But even then, I probably mow like every month and a half to 2 months in the more growth seasons when it's more wet. So yeah, paying a monthly sub when you're not even mowing the lawn that often seems like a waste of money. I guess you could cancel the sub, then resub, then cancel the sub, but that sounds like a pain. Right to a repair and your robot electronics are at war. Yeah. Robot pool cleaners help a lot. More so than just a filter. I guess it's because it's a physical agitation as opposed to like expecting the dirt and grime to somehow come off of the walls into the filter system. I wouldn't want to live without my robot vac and mop. Yeah, the mopping feature is surprised me on ours. Cause it can actually get like the caked on stuff. Like caked on dried 3-day-old milk that the girls spilled that even you have to like peel and scratch off with your fingernail. Because the roller is spinning so fast, it can get that stuff off. It's all about mechanical agitation. What's my opinion on Wi-Fi versus non-Wi-Fi motherboards? My opinion, one second, let me check this benchmark. Oh my god, did it run? It did run. Okay. We'll run it one more time. My opinion on Wi-Fi versus non-Wi-Fi motherboards. In this day and age, I would always spring for the Wi-Fi motherboards just out of convenience. Even though I am pretty much always hardwired in, it's convenient to just have accessibility to Wi-Fi in case you do move your computer somewhere where you can't access it. Even like during the LAN parties and stuff, like when people come over early or when I go somewhere early, sometimes the network stuff isn't set up yet. But if I set up my computer, I would like to be able to hop online and at least be on the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know like Wi-Fi motherboards are slightly more expensive, but we're getting to the point where the cost difference is like 10 to 20 bucks. And I think it's just worth it to get the Wi-Fi one. When we're talking about modern platforms, right? Now, I think Wi-Fi is pretty much going to be a standard on more motherboards than not moving forward into the future. But we go back in time, yeah, there were a lot of like AM4 motherboards that simply didn't have Wi-Fi and you had to pay the premium for. And every time I do a budget build that uses one of those, even though I eventually hardwire it in when I'm initially setting up the PC, I always feel it. I'm like, dang it, this doesn't have Wi-Fi. So I have to plug in to even get the basic Windows updates or drivers and stuff. You know, they're not big downloads by any means, so Wi-Fi would have been fine. But yeah, Wi-Fi, I think I definitely prefer it. And I am willing to pay the slightly more premium 10 to 20 bucks for the Wi-Fi version of a board if it is available. You can also upgrade. Yeah, you're true. You're true. You're right. You can get one of those USB dongles, which I think I have right here. Do I have one of those on hand? I usually keep one nearby. I think these ones are Bluetooth. But yeah, so they make dongles that are like this small, which is gonna like be kind of somewhat questionable with the range it's gonna have. But hey, Wi-Fi. Oh, here, I have one right here. This one has an antenna. So I always try to keep these on hand just because even though they're not the fastest going through USB 3, some Wi-Fi is better than no Wi-Fi is better than no internet, right? Yeah, you can get a PCIe card, like is a ×2 card or whatever. Do I have one of those? I have a couple of those back there as well. So you can always add it as in the expansion slots of the motherboard. And those get pretty pricey if you want the modern standard, like Wi-Fi 7. But if you buy like a Wi-Fi 5 or 6 version, they're probably around like 25 bucks or something. But I would rather not populate another, slot. 1 second, someone's at the door. I just need to check. Make sure it's not a solicitor. Never mind, it must have been a package. Because there's nobody at the door now. Oh, what? What's going on? Why is Droid Cam on? Stop! Stop. Every PC in my house is wired, but it seems like you can't get like 10 gig NICs on a mobile without it having Wi-Fi 2. Are you trying to get a 10 gig? Wait, without it having Wi-Fi 2? Like, you're saying the NICs also have built-in Wi-Fi? Or the motherboard that can take the NIC has Wi-Fi? Okay, that's what I thought you were saying. Motherboards that have 10 gigabit Ethernet always have Wi-Fi too. So, but I guess my question was, why do you specifically want to find boards that don't have Wi-Fi? Because you can just disable the Wi-Fi and not plug in the antennas. I guess. Oh yeah, good point. I didn't even talk about Bluetooth. Usually when you get Wi-Fi, you get Bluetooth complimentary with it too, which I don't know how many people use Bluetooth with their computers. I do. Like my keyboard is Bluetooth. This mouse has Bluetooth capabilities. I use headphones that use Bluetooth. Look, the whole latency thing, I'm willing to sacrifice and use Bluetooth if it means I don't have to have a 2.4 gigahertz dongle for every single peripheral I have. I'm not trying to have a dongle for my keyboard, a dongle for my mouse, a dongle for every headphone I want to plug into it. Like, Bluetooth is just convenient because you don't have to plug in anything extra. It just works. So, I know some people are very particular about that kind of stuff. I am not one of those people. You buy the dongle you're talking about for your flips that you do? Yeah, I've been known to use these dongles that have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built into them for older hardware that don't have built-in Wi-Fi. I usually give the person I'm building for a choice. I'm like, hey, do you want to use one of these where you can just plug and unplug easily, or do you want a PCIe card, which might also cost more money? Let me know, and I will put that into your system. Oh, okay. We are 10 minutes over my intended stream time, so I'm gonna end it in the next minute or two. Last chance to get anything in. There's a video. Yeah, so like I said, I'm working on benchmarking some stuff. I gotta finish up. There's gonna be a video tomorrow. There's gonna be an embargo's lifting, so you're gonna be bombarded with a bunch of videos of these. But I had to stay silent about it. They did not allow me to talk about this product. I don't want to seem like it's that hype. It's a middle of the road. Some people I feel are gonna be excited about this product. Some people are gonna be like, I can't say too much more though, because they were pretty strict about the whole embargoing process. They said you couldn't even like hint or mention it. For AM4, does the motherboard matter as much? Like an A320, B350? I would say it does matter. It depends on like if you want PCIe Gen 4, you can't go with B450 or older. And with regards to like A520 and A320 boards, if you don't plan on overclocking and you're just using like some, you know, standard run-of-the-mill Ryzen 5 chip or even some Ryzen 7s, it'll be fine. You'll just be more limited with the IO and like how many slots you have on the board and stuff. Performance wise, if you were to like, you know, run it in Cinebench or whatever productivity workloads, the performance is going to be very similar. You just don't get the ability to overclock and limited IO and, you know, less USB ports and stuff like that, and PCIe Gen differences. But assuming that you're not using some crap graphics card that's bottlenecked by that, PCIe Gen 3, 4, and 5 perform pretty similar if your graphics card, you know, isn't limited to like 8 lanes or whatever. So I would say B550 boards are cheap enough that there's no reason not to get a B550 board unless you get a crazy good discount on an older board, older chipset than that. You can get B550s for like in Amazon resale for like 70 bucks, 80 bucks. Brand new for like 90 or 100. I don't see much reason not to just go straight to B550. And then for between B550, X570, I've not seen really good deals for X570 boards. I think B550 is kind of the sweet spot. And even for me personally, I have never had the need like to go X570. B550 suits my needs for all my gaming and my content creation just fine. Take it easy, Pete Dunn. It's not a lawnmower. It is a PC hardware part, which is why I'm doing benchmarks. But I'm curious to see what people's reception of it next week or during next week's stream. All right, guys. You guys have a good... Is there anything this weekend? No holidays or anything like that. Yeah, so yeah, just have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend coming up. I'll see you guys in the Discord server. I'll see you in the comments of the video that's dropping tomorrow, as well as I also have short form content coming up. But yeah, have a good one, and I will see you guys back here, same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.